Okay. Okay, the recording starts successfully
Okay.
right now. That's good though, because I would have felt bad if you would have had to travel in the cold anyways.
Well, out of 6 Jeeps, we've done a lot of cold. We've done Utah in the winter. We did another spot in the wintertime that wasn't real pretty either. But yeah, this time we're just going across town about 15 miles. That's pretty cool. And how about this kid, right? He's part of a called a watch party now. I've heard of block parties. I've heard of a lot of parties in my day, but I never really heard of a watch party. But this guy, gosh, what's his name? It escapes me. He's won so many times too. He's a great guy. He has a watch party. He started with about 8 people. I guess it's about up to 15 or 20 now. And so this kid was part of the watch party, first timer, never been on the show before, never seen the show before. So he gets on about an hour beforehand, signs up, does what he's supposed to do, goes in there and does the email thing and the contact info, and lo and behold, there his name gets called at the end. Only in America, right? He was like, "Wow, I just got on." I said, "Yeah, congratulations." Talk about standing on the right dot at the right time.
Sorry, Jose's dropping off the.
Yeah, he's picking up the 14. He's picking up the Chevy other Cruise, and that will be ready. All the parts will be here in about a half an hour.
Okay.
Or an hour. Sorry about that. Business
Okay.
suit. Exodus Auto Sales happening here at the same time.
We just had to get our car fixed again.
The brake
remember
line?
I told you about the brake line
Right.
went out? Then a few days later, the transmission
Oh, no.
transmission lines, both of them, were leaking.
So you've got that weather up there. That's the problem, right? That salt and
Yeah.
cold, and yeah, it's not a good climate for cars. I guess cars rust out in like 3 or 4 years or something. Is that right? 5 years?
Yeah. Well, we had just got the car last year.
Wow. Yeah, that's every once in a while I go to Phoenix and I do the auction there, and I see the snowbirds end up migrating there, and they ultimately end up trading in their car, and you could tell, this car's got rust everywhere. Well, it didn't come from Phoenix. They moved from Chicago or some New York, for example. And it's crazy. I could always tell a car from back east that rust after about 3 or 4 years it's just over. I mean, you can't fix it. It's like a cancer. I tried once. I bought a car. I thought that, hey, maybe there's a new market. I can buy some of these rust buckets, right? No. Once you get that rust in there, it's like cancer. You can cut it out, grind it out, fill it in, but man, it comes back. It's like I said, a cancer. So it's tough on you guys. Really tough. That weather. I don't know why do you live there?
But I was born here, so
Well,
that's
okay. Okay, that's one good reason, I guess. But
yeah.
modern day transportation, Emmy, I don't know, man. I don't know how you do it. That's my flabbergastation. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Wake up one day and you got 6 feet of snow at your front door. It's like, God, call the Grim Reaper. It's over for me. I couldn't do that. I don't know how you do it. Anyways.
But we got lucky with the car this time, though, because we found somebody that could fix it right away.
Oh, that's good. Well, having a good mechanic is good.
Yeah. Well, we had been taking it to the same place, but once they fixed the brakes and then all of a sudden the transmission, we took it somewhere else because we thought it was kind of funny that all of a sudden the transmission lines would go right when they fixed the brake lines. So
yeah, you've heard of that. It's possibly true too. I've heard of that. I have.
We have a 2013 Chrysler Town and Country.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those trannies are tough. I've done a few of those trannies for sure. But that's a good unit. It's an upgrade from the Grand Caravan for sure.
Yeah.
So you got.
Before we had a Kia and the catalytic converter went in it, so that's why we got something different.
Oh. Probably weather related too on the cat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That weather's tough. Yeah, here we don't get anything. We're dry. We're brown and dry. I mean, we're the high desert, getting drier by the day. I mean, our drought is just continuing on. We have no winter this year at all. One snowstorm about 2 weeks ago. And nobody knows how to drive in that here. 2 inches of snow on the ground. It's like white knuckles. And it's scary out there with 2 inches of it. And they shut the schools down. I mean, everything shuts down with 2 inches of snow. It's crazy. But we're high desert. We don't get snow, so I don't know. It's crazy.
I guess that's a good thing, though. You don't have to worry about it.
True. That's very true.
Oh, I wanted to tell you, I saw your original channel. I was watching one of your older cooking videos, and my TV automatically plays the next recommended thing. And it was from your old channel about 10 years ago.
That had to be the radio show then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Steve.
So it was like business advice or something?
Yeah. We did small business, so we entertained a lot of small business guys brought a lot of managers and CEOs in and stuff. It was fun. Rich Dad Poor Dad was on there. Had Mitt Romney come in there. We had the governor. I mean, we landed some pretty good people. Matter of fact, the same person that did my bookings for that show is now doing the bookings for the cooking show. I just hired her back, and so I'm going to see what she's going to do. More so than getting organizations that I can give Jeeps to, along the lines down the road. So she's well connected. So we'll see what happens there. Might get some celebrities in there. I don't know, with their favorite charities or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that was a good radio show. It's 10 years ago. Yeah, probably 10 years ago.
So did you do anything in between, or did you just go straight from that and then one
Well,
day got the idea for this one?
I did start. I had a car dealership prior to the radio show. It was called the $5,000 Car Store. That was kind of neat. We did that for about 10 years, and I sold it to a group of investors. And I signed this stupid thing called a non-compete. Now, a lot of people do that, and it's required, but not for 5 years. So I signed this 5-year non-compete. So I'm looking around to do some, I think I'm going to retire. I'm probably, 50 years old at that time, something like that. And I was like radio. So I started doing a radio program there on a lesser station. And then this station, KTAR, which is the largest talk radio show station in Phoenix, contacted me and said, hey, we like what you're doing. We can give you an hour on Saturday. I said, great. So I got a hold of a good booking agent, and she, like I said, she started hooking me up with some pretty big players. Owner of the Diamondbacks, which is the baseball team there, the Phoenix Suns, but some real big shots. And it was going along really well, but it was either that and move to Phoenix and start a whole new life in Phoenix and start hobnobbing with, all the media people there, or kind of coil back, come back and wait for this compete to end and then start another car dealership. So that's kind of what I did. I don't know if I regret that now or not, because it was humming along pretty well. Like I said, this was the #1 radio talk show station in Phoenix, had a huge following, and the show was growing. I mean, it was Saturdays at noon, so I mean it was picking up a lot of steam, a lot of traction, and so it came to a choice. Like I said, either I move all my stuff to Phoenix and stay there and start hobnobbing there, or come stay in Albuquerque. It was tough. I was flying there once a week. Back then, we didn't have Zoom and all that other stuff that we have now. So I had to be there live in the chair every Saturday. So it was tough. I never missed a show. It was like 71 shows or something in a row every Saturday. And it was grueling. Like I said, it was to the point where I had to either end up making a decision to move there and probably extend my hours on the show, or come back and wait a year, I guess it was. So it was about a year, I guess. But I decided to come back and do another car dealership. That's when Exodus was born, about 6 or 7 years ago. And then just about a year ago, the cooking show.
Okay. So you've been going through a lot the past 10 years or so.
Yeah, media and trying different things. Yes, for sure. I think this is it, though. I think this YouTube thing, although I don't know, YouTube is a funny thing. It's a funny vessel. They tease you a lot. They give you a lot of rope, and you go out there and you think, okay, woohoo, this is it. And then all of a sudden they bring that rope back in. The way I look at it is, there's a warehouse and there's a store, and YouTube can control where your destiny is. Probably 95, 96, 97% of the YouTuber channels out there are in the warehouse. They never come out. They never get to the store where people can see them, meaning their videos. And so YouTube, they spring for it. There's no charge for it. Their platform's free. Anybody could do it. So, their bandwidth costs money. So, I mean, they're footing the bill for all the wannabes basically out there. And I say wannabes, I mean, it is a level playing field. Anybody can get on YouTube and play, and which is, I think, a cool thing, a really cool thing. You don't have to know somebody or be somebody big. You can just be yourself with an idea, and, it's up to the public to decide, hey, your fate. But YouTube does control that aspect of it. They can move you from the warehouse to the store, which they did for us once here very recently. And it did make a difference for sure in the numbers, but then they can take you right back into the warehouse, which they did. And so I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I'm relying on more of that. It makes me understand the core base, like you and your audience and your people that watch the show on a weekly basis, how important that is, as opposed to YouTube and what they can do for you. I think I'd much rather build an audience with, core people like you than rely on YouTube's platform where they put a suggested video out and you pray that somebody hits it. Will they subscribe? Probably not. The chances are not. Will they watch the video entirely? Probably not. I mean, there's a lot of probably nots in there, as
Right.
opposed to and this. You're a YouTuber yourself. You're a creator, and so it's a disadvantage in a way. They can make or break you basically, but if you've got that core audience and you build that core audience, maybe you don't need YouTube or you need YouTube, of course, the platform, but what they can offer you. I'd like to be able to, I don't know, maybe turn my nose one day at YouTube and say, hey guys, I love your platform, but I don't need you. I've got X amount of people, and I'm comfortable with that amount of people. So I don't know. It's beginning to make me realize how important the audience is. Really, I mean, I knew they were always important, but now even more so, how important the audience is, and to keep up. If you've noticed the show, we're still cooking, obviously, but we're putting some zing and zang in it, where we didn't say a month ago, just maybe for entertainment purposes, or just, oh, wow, that was cool. Where'd you see that? Well, I saw it on the, blah, blah, blah. Anyways.
Yeah, I like the new setup that you have, all the extra cameras and
Yeah, we're
all
trying,
the
like I said,
decorations and
yeah, it's about the audience, if you can wow them. I mean, last week with the Steve Harvey show, or the Family Feud deal, that was a kind of a silly little thing. Would love to have played the music, you get into some copyright issues there, but I mean, people got the idea. I think they got the idea, oh, wow, that's Family Feud, pretty cool. That was kind of a lot of work, setting up that cardboard and getting all that stuff punched out and, spray painted and so on. But yeah, little things like that, little things that you can put that wow in there, that people, I hope, will remember, or tell somebody, say, you know what, that was a pretty cool thing. Check it out. And that's where Dell's the guy's name, that does the watch parties. And again, he's got like 15 people coming over on a Saturday at 4 o'clock to watch the show, sit around and make food or make conversation and watch the show, which is pretty cool. And so always trying to entertain them as well. So yeah, it's not all about cooking, but entertaining is a little becoming more and more of it too as well.
well, a few of my friends started to watch your show too.
Really?
And so I wish I could have brought over more people. I'm
Well,
kind of in that stage where I'm still waiting to get more popular on YouTube, because I only have 300, so that's like nothing
well,
compared to what you have. So
Well, that's a lot though. I mean, 300 is pretty good. I mean, and did you know? I mean, some of the numbers on YouTube. I mean, there's 33 million channels out there. That's a lot of channels. And most people, make one or two or three videos and call it quits. It is hard. I mean, I've been at it, I don't know, gosh, well over a year, 8 months on the cooking, and I've spent a lot of money. I mean, no question about it. Of course, we do a lot of giveaways, but I look at it as though it's a business. It's not a hobby, and that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, or think, hey, I can grow a garden. Wow, that's wonderful. I'll put that out on YouTube, and it's a hobby. But rather than, hey, I can make money selling tomatoes, let me show you how. Uh, I think with YouTube, if you're an expert in something, it doesn't matter what it is. Like I said, you can be growing tomatoes or flipping burgers. If you're an expert at it and you're good at it, and you can find a way to deliver that to an audience that find it intriguing, then hey. And there's always the big stuff, like the electronic currencies right now. The bitcoins are big, and all that stuff is real big. But cooking's always been kind of right in the middle. That's what I like about it. It's not going to really go anywhere. I mean, the Martha Stewarts and those people have been around for years and years. Right now, a lot of people are telling me, with inflation being rampant, and going and buying a pound of hamburger versus what it was a year ago, why don't you come up with some more frugal type stuff, or stuff that you can. So I'm doing that in a way. I'm French onion soup. You wouldn't think of this, but there's a secret to French onion soup. It's in the beef stock, and most of these people in the cooking shows just pour beef stock out of a carton. Well, we're going to make another entree out of that on Saturday, and show you that there's multiple ways that you can make another meal. And of course, our presentation, that's what it's all about, that presentation. You're going to see a presentation on this French onion soup you've never seen before, never served. Everyone serves it in a crock, ho hum, with that cheese and crouton melting over it. Every cooking show has that. This one will be different. You'll see something Saturday that you'll never see ever before, I guarantee you. And I hope I just don't light the place on fire. That's all. I'm just kidding. Could happen.
Well, every week I think you cook something unique and different,
Hmm.
um, and that's part of the excitement. I've never seen a cooking show, have so much, um, I don't know what the word is, like unique and different, and
Exactly. Take a
you
normal
get
on.
excited about it. You just don't sit there and just pour the ingredients in, just be
Right.
boring. You're all over the place and trying
Right.
to tell everybody else.
Exactly. That's the entertainment part of it. And I think that's what's probably going to be 50-50, the entertainment and the cooking. But to take a normal entree, a ho hum, French onion soup's kind of ho hum. But no, not really, not the way we're going to do it. I mean, it's going to be cool. And again, my hope is that you invite, 4 or 5 people over and do it for them. And they were like, wow, next time she invites us over, we're going, man. That was no boring food. That was some pretty awesome stuff. That's my goal. That's my hope is you invite, 5 or 6 of your friends or family over, Emmy, and they walk away getting in their car, driving home, and that's all they're talking about was, I can't believe that. That was amazing. They made a chessboard out of cheese. I mean, who would think that way? That kind of stuff. And people talk, and food's that thing, it's that, or proposing. How about proposing and using a hand made out of chicken with a ring finger on it, and then just stuff like that. The entertainment part of it. Yours is you're basically an interviewer. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the highest up person I did was Ray Comfort.
Yeah.
And
He's
I
a
thought, well, a lot of people know who he is. That's going to get a lot of views. It only got like 50.
really.
And I
I'm
was
shocked.
disappointed. I reached out to Kirk Cameron,
Oh,
but
did you
of
really?
course he didn't answer. Um, do you know a guy called Bruce Marchano? I'm probably mispronouncing his name. He does a lot of Christian movies.
I don't know if I know that name or not. It doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't come across.
But I asked him, and he's too busy making a movie, so
Really.
kind of figured.
It's hard.
I'm trying. I
Yeah.
asked Joel Osteen. I didn't get any answer.
Yeah. I pitched him. I actually got an answer from him. He back in 10 years ago when I had my radio show. He didn't do radio. He poo-pooed radio. He said, no, 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 radio is not. We're on TV. And I said, okay. He was a little stuffy about it, and now he's on radio and he loves radio and he's done doing radio big time. So he kind of did a switch out there. But yeah, I did reach out to him. It's hard. I had to actually hire for my radio show every week. I literally had to hire somebody, to actually knock on the door. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and all these. I mean, she was well connected. It cost me, I think, a couple $100 or $300 back then. That was a lot of money, probably back then, to bring somebody like that on the show. So yeah, it's all about knowing people. Shaking hands, kissing babies. If you're, it's a hard gig, but you get that one person. Maybe it's me. Who knows? I mean, someday, right now, not right now, but maybe a couple of years from now. Wow, maybe so. I'd love to help you. I think that's a good idea. People are always interested in other people's lives. I think, right?
Right.
They want to know. Wow, he gets up at 4 o'clock. Wow, I didn't know he did that. That kind of thing. Um, Rich Dad Poor Dad. He was an interesting guy. He's exactly how you'd expect him. He drives a Maserati, takes up 3 parking places, typical ego, minded guy, all the way. Comes in on his cell phone with shorts on, talking to Donald Trump. They had a book together. That was the whole reason for the interview. But just a hot shot, if you will. And getting somebody like that was pretty big. But yeah, it's a hard thing, but it's a good thing though. I think you're on a good subject. I do. Interviewing people. Like I said, people love to know about other people.
That's what I'm trying. Hopefully, I can get somebody else big. That would be nice.
Hmm.
But like when I send my channel and they say, "Oh, she's only got this many subscribers."
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the way the world is. They gauge that or they judge that. And well, I don't know how many we have now. We're getting close to 4,000. But here's the problem with that. I mean, we are now probably we eclipsed 100 for the first time on the live show. Most live streams get, from what I hear, and these are even celebrities, or get between 30 and 40 people on a live that actually stay the whole distance. That's the key. So 30 to 40 is the average live stream audience. We clipped 100 here this last one, which is hard to do. But again, we have 4,000 subscribers, or almost. So I don't know if that's a fair. I don't know if that's a great number. And I knew a girl. Well, you know her, Taylor. Taylor has 1 million. Taylor Skeens.
Yeah, I know.
And I got to tell you, when she does a post, she'll get 10,000 or 12,000. Man, that's a far distance from 1 million people. Let me tell you. So I don't know how. I think it's way blown out of proportion. I do. I think there's probably 10% of those people that you can say, hey, those are my people. If I said, buy a mug or, tune in at 4 o'clock, they're probably going to be there. But 90% of them, I mean, I think
Speaking of the mugs, we're gonna get a couple.
hey, those are kind of cool. They're a good quality mug. For now, we just have JB and Moses on there, but well, actually, we got another one there too. But yeah, they're kind of cool. The digital downloads are coming. That's kind of fun. We've shot 2 of those now. We're shooting another one this week. My executive producer, I love him and I hate him. He's we shot 2, 3 weeks ago, and I was hoping we'd have at least one out right now. That we did a chicken cordon bleu, and that is, the show is 25 minutes, so it's zim zam zoom. We got to do it quick. This is really cool. This is actually, I'm in the studio where we do the digital downloads. Lay out a white tablecloth, got everything measured properly and perfectly, which I hate. I hate that. I'm more of a little this, little that. But now this is, for a recipe, you got to be, half of this and a cup of this, and so those are coming. The digital downloads very soon. But yeah, merchandise is important. You could have. I'm not sure how you can do as an interviewer something. Maybe if you ever get big one day, I could send you some. I don't know. I can think of all kinds of neat stuff for you. That's another story. It's time for another interview. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, I was thinking, one of my favorite chefs that I would love to see on your show. I don't know if it would be possible or not because he's kind of, up there. Is Emeril Lagasse. He was always one of my favorites.
Good, very good. Yeah.
Because he put the personality and he put the oomph in.
Yep. He's good, very good. There's another guy. He's got 2 cats. He always has 2 cats watching him. He has a flambe dessert, and they're sitting there watching every move. But he always has his cats with him. Gordon Ramsay, of course, everybody knows Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
He's really taken it to the next level. Those shows, are they staged? Yeah, some of them are for sure. But they're all, time tested, and you gotta prepare this meal. It's got to be perfect up to his standards and all. I don't know. It's kind of a neat concept, I guess.
Now, this is something I forgot to ask you the last time, so I'm going to ask it this time. Why the title, The Steve Henry Show? Like, why didn't you go like something with cooking in the title or something? Like, what was the idea?
Great question. We originally started out with, it wasn't going to be cooking at all. I got contracted COVID, and I was in the hospital. And I was thinking, again, it's that threshold. I don't know if you're monetized yet on YouTube, but man, that's a bar a lot of people can't climb. 4,000 watched hours and
that's
1,000 subscribers in a 12-month time frame. Now, that's separating out the wheat from the chaff for sure. And so originally, I wasn't going to do a cooking show. I had not even included it. I was just going to do stuff like Seinfeld, which was every week I'm going to try to put out something funny like the Cooper series and this and that. And that's hard to do. I mean, that's almost like, gosh, a full-time job. And I'm still running a 40-hour-a-week car dealership here. So that ended pretty quickly. I did that for about 3 months, and it was like burnout. I mean, I kept trying to come up with all these skits, and there's an elementary school behind us. We use that for a stage, but I didn't want to do just something in the studio. I wanted to do some drive-by scenes. There's Joshua back. Is that Joshua back? He's back for more.
Yeah, sorry,
That's okay. That's all right. All right, he's out of school. He's not feeling well. That's right.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, it was the Steve Henry Show. It was just a spinoff from the radio show, really. And so, yeah, if I had it to do over again, I would. And I don't know how I could do it, but if I could, and I would definitely get rid of the Steve Henry gig and put something like I don't know, some kind of a cooking spin to it. Most definitely, I got to look into that and see how that's possible without losing what I've already built. As far as YouTube's numbers and so on and so forth. From what I understand, you got to start a brand new channel if you're going to change any type of the title, and so that would be a problem at this point now because it's too late. But yeah, I hate the Steve Henry Show. I just hate it. And the reason why it's not the reason why it's the new Steve Henry Show, God forbid you should ever put in www.thestevehenryshow. Somebody hijacked my website after I left the radio show. And there's people that do that, so be careful. That sit around waiting for expirations of your stuff. And if you're a name and you're a personality, they'll buy it cheap. I don't know what they spend for it, a couple $100 maybe. But then they knock on your door and say, "Hey, bro, we got your stuff here. You want to buy it?" And I said, "Nah, I gave it up. It's the radio show." Okay, well, you might want to look at it. So I plugged it in and looked at it, and it's all porn. I said, oh my God. Now it's kind of black. Now it's turned into blackmail, right? I mean, these guys have turned my my name into, some, I don't know, crazy stuff. And so I thought about it for a long time. And they wanted 50 grand, 50 grand. It was a blackmail, literally. And I thought, you know what? It'll expire again someday. Nobody cares. It's over with, and so on and so forth. Well, it's still there, and they still want $50,000 for me to buy the original one. So I just put new in there and created the new, hoping we'd do some Seinfeld type stuff and yada yada yada. Well, like I said, if you want to monetize on YouTube, man, you got to come up with a video, a good one, probably at least once a week. I mean, at least, and that's hard to do. And as opposed to a live stream, show, again, if you're an expert at something, and you can produce that expertise to an audience and do it in a entertaining way, and you get 30 people and it's a half an hour, that's that's some hours that you can accumulate rather quickly. So that's how we got to our 4,000. We were struggling at like 1,100, 1,200, and I was in a friend's car. We were driving, matter of fact, it was a road trip, and we were delivering one of the first Jeeps. And he was telling me, oh man, you'll never make it. He's doing the math. And I said, well, what are you talking about? So he started educating me on it. And he's right. I would never have made it. So man, I got to thinking, I got to change this somehow. Unfortunately, it was already called the Steve Henry Show, or the new Steve Henry Show. So I couldn't change the title. So that's why it stayed that way. But trust me, if I had it my way to do all over again, it would definitely not be the Steve Henry Show. It would be something, that describe, like you said, describe the cooking, entertaining aspect of the show.
What? I like the name of your channel though.
Well, the other way, they can identify. I don't like it. No one likes their own name blown up there. I know a lot of people do it, the Steve Harvey Show, but I don't know. I would much rather. I'm with you. I would much rather have something that fit the title of the show much better than the name myself. But I'm stuck with it for now, so that's all I got to do. Stick with it, I suppose.
The first thing I thought of when I saw your show was there's a show called the Mr. Henry Show on it used to be on cable. It was like a Bible teaching show.
Oh, is that right?
That was the first thing I thought of. I don't know why when I heard your name.
I'll be darned. A lot of people confuse me with Harvey, even in radio. And I'm the white dude. He's the black dude. Just get this straight. And if you, it's kind of a joke now, but you, I don't know if you know this or not, but if for somehow you misspell my name when you put it in on YouTube the first time, it'll always come up Harvey. Harvey. When somebody comes into the car dealership, I pimp their phone right away. Hey, Johnny, let me see your phone. I'm going to hook you up with a $200 possibility here. So I always take their phone. And if I'm in a hurry and I misspell Henry and I put two N's in there, it always comes up Harvey, the black guy. So I thought, yeah, got it. So that's that. So we are definitely connected. He and me are definitely connected. Somehow, but yeah, I guess the name is kind of important. And yours is Emmy Media, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's fitting. Like I said, you are the one doing the interview, so that's appropriate. I think it's important. I think if you're going to do a YouTube channel, you really need to sit down and really think and craft out the name. It's important.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I did media was because I wanted to do like a variety of videos. Like I wouldn't just do interviews. Like maybe I'll do like reviewing something or reacting to something. Yeah. So I want to leave it open if I wanted to do something else.
That's very good. Now, the town that you're in, what's the population of your city?
Only like 20,000. It's small.
Yeah. So you've got I
live in farm country. It's just a small.
Right. I remember you telling me that. So to critique or to do a restaurant critique on the restaurants, you'd probably burn that out in probably 6 months or less. I mean, there aren't that many restaurants probably in that town, but
we got a whole strip that has Friendly's, Applebee's, Taco Bell, McDonald's.
The usuals, yeah.
Yeah. There's a really good pizza place called Fat Belly's. I'd say that's the best.
I'll bet you New York pizza or
yeah.
Yeah. We have a lot of wannabes out here. I don't think we have a great pizza place. They say New York pizza, but man, it's not. Now we made pizza on the show. I thought that was pretty good. I never saw that made in a skillet before. But I took that home and did it a few times. It's pretty cool. You can make a decent pizza. It's all in the crust, on the sauce too. And I didn't know the sauce was cold versus hot. I was thinking, you had to cook the sauce, but in the pizza sauce you don't cook. It's cold. I didn't know that. But yeah, pizza's good. We don't have a good pizza place here in New Mexico. We have a lot of green and red. We can get you a good enchilada, but forget the pizza. You're the pizza queen, capital, New York, I guess. You ever going to the big city?
No. I've never
No.
been to New York City. I'm about an hour from Albany.
Wow, you've never been to New York City
No,
or like Manhattan or down in the no? Wow. So you are how far are you from say the epicenter there, Wall Street and all that? How far away are you?
like about 3 hours.
Wow. You've never taken the weekend to go in there and just go, "Hey, woohoo, this is it," huh? Wow.
No. Well, my
Uh,
boyfriend doesn't like driving, and
ah.
so
Well, the flip side of that is I bet you know everybody in town, right? You're waving to
yeah.
everybody. You walk into the local Walmart and there's Emmy Media or there's so and so. Yeah, you could probably pick up. I don't know if there's any other YouTubers in that town, but you could probably end up capitalizing on that in some degree, being in a small town such as that, for sure.
Well, if you ever visit the area, I'll have to get you pizza from that place because
I will remember that. What the fat? What was it called again?
Fat Bellies.
Fat Bellies. I bet you that's an awesome. Is the crust
They
good?
do like chicken parmesan, and they do
Oh,
linguine and clams and
oh, they got
different
the
stuff.
entrees going too. I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah. But a good family probably has it. Good
yeah.
old family. Yeah, that's the best kind.
And they have something that you usually don't see at a pizza place. They have a drive-through. So if you don't want to go in and pick up your pizza, you pick it up at the window. I
Wow,
thought that was pretty neat.
that works in the cold weather, I'll bet, not having to get out of
Yeah.
your. hmm You know, the drive-through was pretty interesting. Of course, McDonald's perfected that years ago, but it was Starbucks that really turned that around. The guy, the guy that was in charge of Starbucks at the time, 1994, he said, you know, if I can get the single mom, or not the single mom, but the mom out of the car, or keep her in the car with the two kids, and get her a cup of coffee, I can make a fortune. But how do we do that? And then when the drive-through was already around, but they said, you know, of course, they really perfected it. When she stuck that arm out to get that coffee, that needle just went boink, and it was over. And once mom stayed in the car to get her coffee with her kids screaming in the back seat, bingo. And they did it. They perfected that in '94. Howard Schultz was his name. No longer the CEO, but intelligent, very smart. And boy, Starbucks just took off. They didn't have any drive-throughs prior to that, and that was their big launch into stratosphere coffee right there as the drive-through. So you're right, the drive-through can get you everything.
We don't have a Starbucks here.
Wow.
Half an hour away, there's a Starbucks, but we got a Dunkin' Donuts, and I like Dunkin' Donuts.
A lot of people like the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. They even have their own coffee. Huh? You like their coffee? Are you a
I
coffee
like
drinker?
their culottes.
Oh
They're
yeah.
cold.
hmm
Those are pretty good.
All right. So what else
Maybe
you got?
that's something you can do on the show. Make your own, like do like a drink thing with the.
Yeah, drinks. That's a good idea. It doesn't have to always be something in a skillet. We're kind of getting away. Well, I'd say we're getting away from it, but you know, we're like I said, I don't have a kitchen here, so that's how we have to cook everything is on a burner, and it just kind of formed out of a skillet. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy what we can make in on a desk in an office without a kitchen and oven. It's pretty amazing. It really is.
I mean, like call it like the Steve Henry special or something.
Yeah, yeah, do a coffee bar or something like that one day. That's a good idea. Or dessert drinks or something. Need a blender for sure. Blender and some fruit and stuff. Yeah, maybe.
So what's your favorite dish to make? If you could make something all the time, what would be your favorite?
I'm a soup guy. I think I perfected all my soups. Or if somebody puts my soup to their lips, it's over. And we've only done a few on the show. We've done cream of broccoli cheddar. We've done cream of tomato. We've done clam chowder. And again, we're going to do French onion this week. But soup is, I love soup. I think soup is it's an amazing thing. And if it's done correctly, boy, it's not like an entree. You can have a cup of it, or you can have a bowl, or there's a lot of different ways you can consume it that way. But I like soup and the variety that you can make you can make soup out of basically anything. The tomato, the zucchini, the mushroom, the cheese. I mean, there's so many ingredients involved in that process. So when I sit back and I think, wow, what kind of soup do I want to make? That's all I did for one hotel that I worked for. I was the soup dude. kind of created my own position. Actually, they had the same boring soups every day, and I went in there and started kind of playing around a little bit, and wow, those are good. That was good. So man, the next thing you know, we had like a Baskin Robbins of soup, 30 wonderful
Yeah.
flavors that you can choose. So yeah, I think soup is my forte. I like to do everything, but soup is it. And then the presentation. It shouldn't go into a bowl. A ceramic bowl. Ho hum. Let's put that in something other than that, and let's talk about it. And that's what we're going to do this Saturday. We're going to do something crazy with French onion soup.
Well, I'm looking forward to this Saturday. I mean, I never tried French onion soup, but maybe I'll.
Really?
Uh,
Wow, we got to
I'm
get you
just a
out,
chicken
girl.
noodle or tomato soup.
Yeah. Yeah, chicken noodles a good standby. Tomato, obviously, people love. We've done that on the show once, but there's always a little secret, a little trick to each one. Like the cream of broccoli cheddar, that's one of the digital downloads that we did out of the two that we've done that we haven't seen yet. But just putting spinach in your cream of broccoli cheddar, to highlight the color of green, first of all, and to give it a different look and taste. But the color just it comes out in, if you just do a regular cream of broccoli cheddar, it's gross looking, really. But with that spinach in there and the color that the spinach brings, oh my God, it's a whole different look. So yeah, soups are really cool. You can certainly do a lot with them, most definitely. And again, people think French onion is going to be ho hum. Not at all going to be ho hum. Tasty.
So, other than soups being your favorite, what's the most difficult thing that you've had to make?
Well, I think on the burners, doing a hollandaise sauce. We've done a hollandaise sauce because we did eggs Benedict once on the show, and then a sauce béarnaise we did for Valentine's Day just a couple weeks ago, over draping over it a filet mignon. Having that hollandaise sauce on a direct burner, a direct fire, is very challenging, especially when you got 100 people watching and you got the cameras everywhere, and one little 4-degree differential in temperature, and bam, that egg yolk goes to scrambled eggs real quick, and then you got a problem. Or adding the butter, and adding the butter into the eggs once they are cooked just perfectly. It's a hard sauce to make anyways on a good day with a double boiler in a kitchen, let alone on a camping stove burner, a direct fire on a stainless steel bowl. So that's probably the toughest. Now I don't know if that's the toughest thing to do, but on the show, what we've done, that was tough. Like I said, one false move or one little extra niche up in the temperature, and boom, you got scrambled eggs and you got a problem. And I don't know how I would hide that on the show, especially now. I can't. I was telling everyone last week, I even told the audience, I can't get away with nothing anymore. I got cameras everywhere. Literally, if something did go wrong before, I might have been able to cover it up somewhat a little bit, but now I've got camera on the skillets and over here on this side over here, and it's like, dang man, I can't get away with nothing. Something goes wrong, we're in trouble. So that's just the downside of more cameras. I think my wife just showed up here with the dogs. I can hear them in the other room, and they hear me. That's a problem. But anyways, all right, let's keep going. YouTube it is. What do you got? What else you got, girl?
I know we talked about it last time, that you eat the food afterwards. So is that on Saturdays? Is that what you have for dinner, whatever you're preparing?
Well, that's a great question. Now that we are getting pretty well known locally, we used to have like 5 or 6 people only on the channel locally. Now everyone knows, hey, at 4:30, if we're in the area, I wonder if he's got that on the. So we always get rid of what we serve, and it's a process. I'm not buying cheap stuff. I'm buying the real deal, like filet mignon. I'll buy the real filet mignon. So it's great quality food, and yeah, I don't take it home. No. I usually go out on Saturday nights, but after I'm done with the show, it's like a big letdown. You probably know this too. After you've done a show or something, Saturday I'm here by myself at the dealership, and because it's kind of quiet, but I like puttering around. I don't like anybody in my way, so I've got about 5 hours of puttering, which I love to do. But the phone rings, somebody comes in to make a car payment. I'm back and forth, but after making all the food, and it's like I said, it's real food. There's nothing artificial about what we do. When we make a gallon of this or whatever it is. Yeah, but the people, the staff, they're the first ones. I take care of them. April's there, and I got 2 camera guys. And now I've got 2 people up front, so there's like 5 people involved internally. That'll usually snake off most of the food. But yeah, I've certainly had enough local people drive by at that particular time coincidentally and say, hey, did you have, I saw pizza on the show. So yeah, we give it all away. I don't take any of it home. We give it all away. One day I'd love to be able to make enough of it. If we ever have an audience of like 300 or 400 people, I'm just going to expand it out. Maybe one day we'll have a kitchen. I'd love to donate it, or homeless or whatever. Boy, would they get a treat. We have a lot of homeless here now, especially right down the street. It's terrible. But,
Yeah, that's something I saw recently.
in your little town?
Yeah. Well,
Really?
when I had went down because we needed help paying our electric bill. So when I went in, I overheard the lady next to me say, well, can you put me up in a hotel? I have nowhere to go. And I'm like, well, that's awful to hear in this little town. They said, well, you got to go 30 minutes away. We don't have a setup like that here.
Wow.
So,
Wow. So you don't really see any tents along the street, or how about
no,
somebody?
there's no tents or nothing.
How about somebody holding up a sign at an intersection? Do you see that at all?
About half an hour away, closer to Albany, you see that, but not that often.
Not there, yeah. So are you on land? Do you have acreage there where you live?
We have 1 acre.
1 acre. That's a good size. I live on a half an acre, so that's a good size. 1 acre. Do you raise anything? Or are you farming anything, or
No.
no? Okay. Because all you have is really summertime, and then you can't do nothing in the wintertime there, can you?
No.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know how you do it. One day I'll have to visit you. It won't be in the winter, I can tell you that. Do you have an
Yeah.
airport? Can I fly in there? Can I take the corporate jet in there somewhere? They got an airport in there?
Yeah, Albany Airport is about an hour from me.
Albany Airport. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good possibility. Hopefully you'll win a Jeep one day. And so we'll have a Jeep convention. That's what I want to do I want to have a Jeep convention, but we're going to have it when we have like maybe 12 or 15 people, and we get everybody together. They drive their Jeeps. They drive their Jeep somewhere, and we have a Jeep party. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think that would be kind of cool. 12 or 15. Yeah, right now we're at 6. So we're probably about halfway there. Maybe another year or so as the show gets a little bigger. You got to start making some money on YouTube. I mean, I spend, oh gosh, I hate to say what I spend a week, probably $1,000 a week on the show between labor and cameras and food, and it's a lot. And that's not the Jeeps. That's just production basically. It's a lot. Well, again, it's a business the way you have to look at it, I suppose. But I mean, I know there's people that do cooking shows, and they do it with one camera and in their kitchen, and they're doing it for probably $30 a shot. So it just depends, I suppose. But
Well, you're definitely helping people with all the giveaways because
yeah, we're very
I mean,
fortunate.
you helped us right at the time when we needed tires.
Yeah, that was good. And you came over from Taylor, right?
Right.
You were.
But I hadn't watched the channel in a while because I was going through.
Yeah, well, you had some tough stuff.
Everything. And then somebody commented on my comment saying, "Hey, why don't you come back? We miss you." I don't know who it was.
Hey, I just see
Okay.
Kenny.
Okay, go, Josh.
There's that little trouble.
Okay, go, Josh.
Now you got, how many at home do you have now? You have 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I came over from her channel and I was reminded when somebody commented, and I'm like, why wasn't YouTube notifying me about your channel?
Yeah.
Because the last stuff I saw was the Chris Cooper stuff.
Yeah. Well, you should have been getting. I hear that a lot. The notifications aren't working. I hear
They
that.
aren't working for anything I watch.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that a lot, which is unfortunate because that's what you set it up for. When I get somebody's phone and I hook them up for the first time, I always hit notifications, and I always hear back. I never get notified, or it's I get notified 2 hours later or something, and that doesn't do very good on a live show. So what can we do for your subscribers and cohabitating on our show? What can we do? Do you have anything in mind? I'm game. I'm game for even this weekend coming up with something that for every single one of your subscribers. What do you recommend? Let's give them something. Let's throw something out there where they would not only watch your interview and tell people what an interview it was, but show up on the cooking show. What do you want? What do you recommend? What do you recommend? What do you want to do?
I don't know. I know I brought over 2 people, but
Did you? Oh,
I'd
cool.
like to bring over more. My mother-in-law and one of my friends.
Oh, right on. You reached out to your subscribers with I think the last time we were going to do this, I was going to put their name in. They said they were from Emmy Media.
Yeah.
I was going to put them in twice in the
Yeah,
spin.
and only one person commented.
Is that right?
Joshua.
Oh, Joshua. Wow, where'd he get his red hair at? Where'd that red hair?
I got this from where?
Maybe that's just the screen. The screen makes you look a little red there, buddy. Are you red?
Yeah, he's got brown hair, but
oh, brown hair.
this is
Okay,
like,
pretty hair. Almost like chestnut. Wow.
but I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Well, if you were to reach out to every single subscriber you have and say, hey, check this out. I did this interview, send them a link perhaps. Maybe I'm shooting the midweek today. Matter of fact, when I finish with you, George is coming over. We're going to do the midweek video. It's going to be a little one, couple, 3 minutes on the French onion coming this week. Maybe we send them a link of that or something, or a link to something from before of the $200 spin. I'd like to do that because I mean, that keeps them engaged to the end of the show. And a good chance to win $200. I mean, there's, I don't know, a little over 100 in there now. Not that many spinning around. If we pull 2 or 3 times, I mean, the odds are pretty good. I mean, they're okay. It's ironic. It's crazy how some people win more than others. I don't know how that is, but I swear, I mean, I reach in there and I dig and I scramble and I make, there's nothing jicky going on. That's for sure. There he is.
Joshua,
there he is.
go,
the
baby.
Star of the show. He's a camera. He got a camera.
He's a camera hog.
Yeah, he's a camera.
Well, I put the link to your channel and the link to the new Facebook page on my YouTube channel.
Well, we can do. You want to do another double or nothing? We can call it double or nothing. We can put their names in twice if they mention, "Hey, I'm from Emmy." On the 4 o'clock show, when they mention in the comment section, "Hey, I'm here," they just have to mention, "Hey, I'm here from Emmys." The other thing is, I was thinking, I haven't done anything with Taylor in a long time. Matter of fact, I haven't talked to her in a while. She was in a bad car wreck, and her car got, they thought, totaled. But I'm in the car business, so I mean that's what we do. So we took her car and we fixed it for her, repaired it, brought it back to perfection, and it was hit pretty good. But that's kind of how we left. I haven't seen her since that time I gave her car back to her. We shot, I think, a Cooper series in it. We used it in the Cooper series, I think, once. But I'm trying to think. She has a lot of following.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be interested in my channel. I don't know.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I'm on the spot here, so sometimes I think real good on the spot, and sometimes I don't. Let me think about that. Before the end of the week, I will come up with something for you to give to them, to offer them to spice your channel. It's all about your channel. I don't care about mine, but it's about yours.
I care about your channel.
Well, spicing up your channel a little bit, because it's hard to get subscribers. I mean, it is. I look at here. Well, here's a statistic. YouTube has some great analytics. I don't know if you're. I don't know about that being monetized. I don't know if you get those yet or not. I'm not sure. I forget. But they have some amazing analytics. I mean, if you want to know what time of the night somebody's watching your show, you can 2 a.m. in the morning. There's 3 people watching your show. I mean, they have a statistic for everything. Their analytics are amazing. But one of the analytics is how many subscribers are watching and how many non-subscribers.
Yeah, I see that. Most and are non-subscribed.
Well, it's even on my channel, honey, it's 50-50. And I bring that home to my staff every week. I said, this is ridiculous. Well, Steve, you're not mentioning. I said, well, I do. I mean, it's kind of hard to sit there every week and go, now everybody make sure you hit that button. It's kind of like redundant, right? But I don't know what else I could do. I mean, I'm trying to think there. But yeah, out of 100, it turns out to be about 180 people at the end, even the post show. After the live, about 180, 90 of them, or a good 75 of them, are not subscribers. I'm thinking, wow, that's crazy. But you know what? I'm kind of the same way. It takes me a while for me to hit that button, even though they recommend it. And hey, I like the guy, I've seen him, or I like the gal, I've seen her 4 or 5 times. I've watched her show. It takes me a while to hit that button. I don't know what it is. It's almost like it's not costing you anything, obviously, but it's almost like a commitment, right, of some sort. That you're okay. Well, now I'm in. Doggone it. Well, now what are they going to do with that? They're going to put me in the email and all this. I'm going to get all these text messages and blah 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 blah. So I think people are hesitant because they don't know. Once they hit that red button, now what? I'm going to go into this big vortex and I'm going to get notified and all this. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't use it for that purpose, but I don't even know who my subscribers are. It's terrible. When I get, a rash like last week, I had a pretty good rash. I had a pretty good run, 100 subscribers, I think. And I know there's a way to check and see who they are, but I don't even do that. I mean, I welcome them in and, move on. I guess I just don't have time to do that. But yeah, that's a problem. So you probably have a lot more people watching maybe than you realize.
No, I hope so. I mean, I don't post that often, but the Facebook page though that I made for
How's
your
that?
show
I
has 5 likes.
Wow. So I confess, I haven't actually, have not looked at it yet. I'm not a big Facebook guy. I never have been. Back in the day with my radio show, we used a lot of Facebook, and I don't know. I spent a lot of money on Facebook back then and didn't get very much results. So I don't know. Maybe it's changed a little bit, and I'm not real politically correct with the guy that's in charge of it either. I'm not real happy with him either. So I don't know. I'm not a big Facebook fan. Period. I guess is what it is.
Well, every day I post one of your videos, even if it's an older one.
Oh
Like
wow!
I say, like check out this one from such and such months ago, or
Oh, look at you! I didn't know that.
so I'm trying to post one every day so people that are new that haven't seen the older stuff can see the older stuff.
Right. And that older stuff's kind of funny. I mean, like I said, we did some crazy stuff back then, lit some stuff on fire, and the Cheech and Chong. I think the funniest one we ever did was the Cheech and Chong. That was fun. We had a lot of fun with that one. I remember shooting that 3 or 4 times. I was Santa Claus in a car that got hit in the rear end by Cheech and Chong that were in town. But I mean, that's the stuff I had to come up with every week. I mean, that was hard to do. Sitting there, God, now what am I going to do this week? It's like, again, like a Seinfeld type thing where I'd have a funny show or amusing show, entertaining show every week, and it's like grueling. Couldn't keep up with that. There's no way. But I think looking way back, our Cheech and Chong show was, I think, my funniest, my favorite one to shoot. I bought the costumes, and those guys were in one of my vans in the back smoking a big old reefer, and the smoke was coming out, and it was green. I think a green and red smoke bomb that I bought. So they couldn't see. There was smoke everywhere, and bam, they crash into Santa Claus. He's on his way to a Christmas party. That's me in a little Nissan. I bought a Nissan that just got hit in the rear end, so I use that in the show. I mean, that kind of stuff. We had a lot of that. We had a lot of fun doing that kind of stuff at first. That's what we did at first. But coming up every week with a new plan and trying to get to 4,000 hours in 12 months, man, there's only one surefire way I think you could do that, and that's a live stream where you can guarantee 20 or 30 people for 30 minutes and do the math times 4 times 12. Hey, I can get there. That's 4,400. I think that's the best way to do it for somebody starting out for sure.
That's what I might have to do because I've never done a live stream. So.
And they're not that hard to do. I mean, again, you gotta have a consistency, obviously. If I did this at 4:00 on Saturday, by God, it's 4:00 on Saturday. Sometimes we might not have any sound. Remember we had that no sound problem last couple
Yeah,
weeks?
I know.
Yeah, I was sitting there talking, and boy, everyone's freaking out, and that's tough. I'm sitting there, I'm still talking. I still don't know what's going on. We're about 5 minutes into a 7-minute problem, and the ship's taking on water. The captain's steering the ship, and there's water coming in everywhere, and I'm still talking. Hey, we're going, and I can see everybody running around. I'm thinking, okay, there's a problem. Is there a fire? Do we have a customer out
Yeah,
there?
I was trying to read your lips. I'm like, oh, I can't.
Right? I didn't know if there was somebody out there with a gun. We locked the door at 2:00. Was there an accident out? I don't know. And they're running around, and George is running in, running out. I'm thinking, what's going on, guys? What, you're leaving me here. The ship's taking on water. He says, no sound. And he hands me the camera. I think, what am I going to do with this camera? Remember, he hands me the camera. Yeah. So I'm walking around with this idiot camera, looking like an idiot for about 2 minutes. They forgot to turn the new camera's volume up or switch on or something out front. So. Yeah. And it's some stupid little thing, but we should have tested it. That's one of the issues I have with my editor. My lead editor is he's a younger kid, and he's learning too. And again, new equipment, but gosh darn, we should have tested that out. That was tough. And then one time, I think we had the other live part was a catastrophe was a charcuterie board fell off the desk. I put one too many shrimp, bing, and it just tipped over live on the show, and it went all over the guy's boots and all. But yeah, live is good. Anything can happen. But I think that is clearly the only way to go. You gotta have an idea, right? I mean, you gotta be consistent with your time. If you say 4:00 on Saturday, by golly, it's gotta be 4:00 on Saturday, and it's gotta be consistent. Like you're gonna do something that people are gonna want to watch or see, time and time again, and you got to keep them there. Again, the retention rate on a lot of live streams are very little. Of course, that's why we have our spins at the end. I mean, there's some marketing brains behind it a little bit, because I believe, well, I don't say everybody comes for the money, but we keep them there for that reason. I mean, we spin at the end, which is I kind of think a fun thing to do too. At the very end, here we go. And you're in there every week too. By golly, you've never won a $200 spin yet, have you?
No, I won it, and then
one time with a tire. Oh, okay.
I won the $200 spin.
Yeah, Stephen did. I knew that. Yeah. Stephen with a PH, I said, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I feel pretty good. Okay, I feel better now then. You guys have done.
And I won the $50 one for the color of the car in the first.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I wish I had. One day we will. One day, because I love giving, and I know $50 isn't much, but gosh darn it, it's kind of neat to be able to boom, and I just love doing it. I just wish somebody would write me a check for $1 million. I'd give that $1 million away on the show. I really would. It would not go in my pocket, that's for sure. And that's the fun of it. I just love, and my staff's kind of the ones that tell me, hey, Steve, slow down. Because I get to thinking, okay, hey, that's a good $100 question. No, slow down. You got to spin. They kind of put that in place because I was throwing $100 questions out there, 5 or 6 times a week. And that was getting kind of crazy then too. But for right now, it's just a spin. But I've got to come up with some more giving ideas. The Jeep's kind of, we'll do that. It's kind of old, but we'll still continue to do that. But the $200 spin's getting kind of old too. I need to come up with something new. So I don't know what to do there. But anyways, I'm rambling on.
I believe the Lord will bless you for blessing other people. It always comes.
I hope so. You're right. And I'm trying to convey that too. I got to put more Jesus out there. I try. I got to be kind of careful. I would say a good over half of our audience appreciates it. Probably 10% doesn't, and the other, could care less from one way or the other. But yeah, Jesus is a big part of the show for sure. The Lord definitely is a huge part of the show. Most definitely.
Well, I'm definitely glad that I had found your channel again, because I was just really down and out. I'm still pretty down and out, but I'm trying to.
Well, you suffered a huge hit, girl, and let me tell you, mine's been gone for 8 years. I miss her so bad, man. She was my best buddy. God, I miss that woman. And you never get over it. You never ever get over it. Now, she didn't live with you, but she lived in the same town.
No, she lived 3 hours away.
3 hours away. Wow. Was she in the big city?
No, she was in the country.
Oh, country too. Yeah, way too young. Yeah, you took a big blow. That's huge. So yeah, it's going to take a long time to recover from that. Don't think, hey, I'm over it now and things are good. No, never. It's never. That's a big blow. I mean, especially it's not supposed to happen that young. I mean, mine was 89. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. I mean, come on, it was coming down but gosh, it's tough. I agree with you 100%. It's tough. Yeah.
But the Lord is good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely.
I would be able to get myself up every day without. I pray every day and read the Bible and.
Good for you. Do you have a good church there in town?
Yes, but it's closed because of COVID. They just do live streams.
See, that's a bummer. Ours are all open up now. I think, your state's got your politics there are tough too, man. It's they've hurt a lot of people, I think. It's unfortunate, but politics aside, it's a bummer. The churches should not be closed right now, not at all. I mean, I think the COVID.
But
see, right? Yeah. Is it a good church though? When it was open, was it a good church?
Yeah. Good
pastor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lady pastor, which is something you don't really see.
That's very cool. Our 5th Jeep giveaway was a lady pastor, Barb from Phoenix. And I have no problem with that. I know some people older, the Calvinists, have issues with that. It doesn't matter as long as you're teaching the word and you're doing it properly. That's the bottom line. I want to have a Christian channel. If I have another YouTube channel, it will be 2 dogs, a chair, and a beach. The untold stories of Jesus Christ and how they can impact your life. I've got so many stories from the Bible that, is Jesus still with us? Or does he have to be around to have a miracle happen in your life? That was 2,000 years ago. And now it's just, a bunch of hooey. No. There's actually a story in the Bible that that'll answer that question. No, he does not have to be present, and this is how this will affect your life. I mean, there's so many great. I just wish a lot of people can take, Jesus out of who he was or who he said he was for a moment. I mean, it's obviously important, but just the doctrine, marry once, find one mate, and make that the rest of your life. What great advice.